Drivers are furious as Formula One just dropped a bombshell with massive regulation changes for 2026. Imagine the shockwaves rippling through the F1 world as these game-changing rules are unveiled. It's a whole new ballgame from engine shifts to penalty shakeups. So let's dive into this video today to know what these jaw-dropping changes mean for the future of F1 racing. Formula One F1 is famous for having countless good and not-so-good rules. F1 and the FIA, the sport's governing body, are changing many rules to make the races more exciting. These changes aren't just for the 2026 car designs, but also for the years before and after. Some changes will make fans very happy. F1 is thinking about using different engines from 2030 to make the cars louder. F1 executives and the FIA are about to finalize the rules for the 2026 cars, including the chassis and power units. However, they are already looking ahead to the next set of rules. For over 15 years, F1 has used turbo hybrid engines, but Stefano Domenicali, an F1 leader, suggested a big change. One alternative is to abandon the existing model entirely. Since F1 introduced turbo hybrid engines in 2014, fans have complained that the cars aren't loud enough compared to the old V8 engines. Although the engines have gotten louder and there were high hopes for them to be even noisier by 2026, it's clear that the current engines still don't satisfy F1's needs. F1 might explore several options to make the cars noisier, including using new technology or even bringing back the old V8 engines. Stefano Domenicali shared his thoughts before the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. "I wish for F1 to return to engine noise." He added that if F1 successfully transitions to 100% sustainable fuels by 2026, forsaking hybrids in favor of a new approach may be something to consider. This means that if the switch to eco-friendly fuels works well, F1 might drop hybrid engines altogether and try something new to make the races more thrilling. Future steps beyond 2026. Once the 2026 regulations are set, F1 will start planning for the next phase, such as the 2030 engine. Stefano Domenicali shared his personal thoughts, saying, "It is a personal consideration of mine not yet shared with the teams." He mentioned that discussions with the FIA have begun, and if sustainable fuels prove effective, they will need to carefully evaluate whether to continue with hybrid technology or whether better solutions will be available. Domenicali did not detail the other options, but many suggestions have been made over the years. If F1 successfully uses entirely sustainable fuel, the environmental argument against popular V8 engines will no longer be valid. Switching to V8s could also help reduce car weight, which has become increasingly important. Last year, world champion Max Verstappen expressed his ideal vision for F1. "I would definitely get rid of the hybrid," he explained. "I think all the time when I jump back in a V8, I am always so surprised at how smooth the engine is." Verstappen noted that while V8's top speed is slower, it's just the pickup of the engine and the torque, it's so smooth. The whole delivery process, the downshifts and the upshifts, it's so much more natural compared to what we have now. Stefano Domenicali also updated us on the 2026 rules. He is confident that these regulations will be completed well before the June 30th deadline. In recent weeks, the various parties involved have agreed, and the 2026 regulations are expected to be published on June 1st. He emphasized the importance of clarifying these changes thoroughly, as there have been differing interpretations. While specific guidelines for the new cars haven't been set, concerns are already arising about the restrictions imposed by the option of turbo hybrids. Domenicali highlighted the importance of noise in F1, stating, "All markets and age groups want a better sound." He also addressed the issue of car weight, which has become a significant concern. Harley noted that keeping the hybrid power unit solution for 2026 will inevitably lead to a significant increase in weight compared to cars from a decade ago. He expressed the desire for lighter cars and a louder engine sound. Domenicali hinted at possible engine changes, suggesting a future return to V8s or even V10s. Alongside these potential changes, there will also be updates to penalties, which will be a major topic of discussion following Kevin Magnussen's actions in Miami. These adjustments reflect ongoing efforts to enhance the excitement and competitiveness of F1 races. Following his recent behavior, the FIA plans to implement stricter penalties for Formula One drivers who deliberately cut the track to maintain their position. Kevin Magnussen received 3 10-second penalties for leaving the track and gaining an advantage during the Miami race. Despite this, his actions helped his teammate, Nico Hülkenberg, secure crucial points. Magnussen also received a 4th penalty, a 5-second increase for leaving the track without a valid reason. These penalties added to his overall penalty point total. While his tactics affected his own race, they benefited his teammate. Similar defensive strategies were seen in Saudi Arabia. Future penalty measures. Although the Miami stewards opted for 10-second penalties to align with previous rulings, they acknowledged the need for harsher penalties in the future. The FIA aims to introduce drive-through penalties for such situations, instantly addressing the issue by requiring guilty drivers to pit and relinquish their track position within 2 laps. This matter will be discussed further during Friday's team management meeting, which will involve representatives from the teams, stewards, and the FIA. The goal is to ensure fair and consistent enforcement of penalties to maintain the integrity and competitiveness of Formula One races. At the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, harsher penalties would be enforced if drivers were caught intentionally going off track to maintain their position. Stewards suspected such behavior during the race and instructed drivers to relinquish their positions. Unlike previous years where stewards often intervened, it's unlikely that drivers will be instructed to give up positions, as was customary until 2022. Formula One teams have faced difficulties scoring points this year, primarily due to a tightly packed top 5 group of teams. To address this, some team principals propose altering the points system to allow more drivers to earn points. This modification aims to make the rankings more reflective of performance across the grid. However, this proposal has faced criticism. Critics argue that changing the points system based on the dynamics of a single season may be too reactive. One suggested option is to award points to the top 12 finishers, while more extreme suggestions include awarding points to all finishers. Stefano Domenicali addressed rumors surrounding changes to the points system in Formula One. Some teams have requested increased access to points beyond the 10th position. While simulations are being conducted, Domenicali emphasized the need to carefully consider the implications of modifying the scoring system. He assured that while the system won't award points to all drivers, a balance must be struck to avoid unforeseen issues that may arise over time. Many teams believe earning points should be easier, but conflicts over minor details could hinder adjustments. As discussions progress, a clearer understanding of F1's approach to this topic is expected later in the year. However, amid several modifications in F1, this has become another contentious subject among fans. Expansion of sprint weekends. Domenicali expressed his desire for more sprint races in future F1 calendars. Currently, F1 hosts 6 sprint weekends each year on various circuits. Compared to free practices, these additional competitive sessions have garnered mixed responses from drivers and fans. While they increase interest, they also intensify the workload on team members. Despite the mixed reactions, sprint races may become more prevalent in shaping the future of Formula One. The modified schedule for 2024, allowing teams to tweak cars between sprint races and Grand Prix qualifying, was seen as progress. The thrilling sprints in China and Miami, which had different results from the actual Grand Prix, sparked discussions about the future of sprint races. Stefano Domenicali hinted at the possibility of having more than 6 sprints each year. Domenicali suggested that the success of the qualifying sprint in China and Miami hints at the potential for more sprints in the future. He emphasized the importance of providing continuous action on the track to entertain the fans. When asked about the possibility of more sprints, Domenicali enthusiastically responded, "Why not? This is wonderful because it keeps the tension going daily." He highlighted the need to explore this idea further, ensuring it becomes a point of discussion in future F1 commissions. Further, Domenicali stressed the importance of avoiding situations like in Japan, where adverse weather conditions affected car running. The potential for increased sprints will be thoroughly examined, with discussions slated for upcoming F1 commissions. The goal is to ensure that any changes to the schedule enhance the excitement and engagement of both fans and teams alike. So what do you think of the major regulation changes announced by F1 for 2026? Comment below your views and subscribe for more.